We call ourselves Phenomenova. Yesterday, the Stormbearers, a deadly group of mercenaries, took control of a nuclear reactor. Before we arrived on the scene, Galvanite, a superpowered teenage boy, attempted to stop them. He failed. His story ended there that day. Ours began shortly after. Today, I sift through the memories of that day. I will put the pieces together, and we will bring those responsible to justice.
Someone says, "What's the future?" Vaughn Coleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action.
What's going on, guys? It's me, Vaughn Coleman. I'm here with Shine Comics. I always get the mirror wrong. I'm doing this for years. It's Shine Comics, and we might have some others joining, and we're going to talk about the new Fantastic Four. I think I'm going to keep this as a regular segment on my channel. First off, I want to say, Kevin Ryan, thank you for the belated birthday wishes, man. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself. I'll pull up your links, too, if you want.
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's your boy Shine Comics, bro. Your intro never gets old. Like I was jamming to that. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because when I was watching it, I was like, "This is old." So it's glad to hear that it's not old.
Yeah, I'm into like even like I've been. This is kind of like unrelated, but like I bought like a lot of the older Wizard magazines. Yeah, I got a bunch of those, and I just have nostalgia, even though I wasn't alive for a lot of those issues. Like I just have nostalgia for that kind of stuff, and like I like I like
it's
those
weird.
stuff.
I do too. I don't know how to describe it. Like they'll have like a nostalgic feeling for something I never was alive for, and I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I mean, it just said there's something about it, and it's funny. This movie kind of had that. Actually, it's funny you bring that up. Going for it. Nostalgia for comics. So I'll confess, I've never read any 60s Fantastic Four stuff. I intend to. Because I'd love to say it captures the feel of the comics, but I could say I think it does, but I can't definitively say it because I haven't read them yet. I intend to. All right, your first was 25 and 26. Okay, yeah, I want to read. Sorry, I have a habit of reading it too fast, and I want to. So, like, I've been told to read Byrne's run and the original run, or the top two. I'm typically given to read the original Kirby Lee run. But yeah, I mean, I like this movie. I saw it on my birthday with friends. We woke up late after a night of drinking, and we were like, "You want to go see the new Fantastic Four. We're like, okay. So we went and saw it. And I walked in with like very little expectations. And I really liked it, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Honestly, like I liked it more than wait, Art, did you like it more than Superman? I liked it more than Superman.
All right, yeah, because I feel bad because we didn't get to have the Superman discussion.
Right.
All right, we can have it briefly. Before anyone shows up. I'm guessing you did.
Yeah.
It's funny. Part of me kind of liked Superman more, but I think this is a better story. In a lot of ways, it's certainly more self-contained. There are a lot of similarities. Like that was starting off a universe that was already in motion. You get the backstory through other means. I thought so. Here's the thing: we may not have all read tons of Fantastic Four specifically, but in terms of comic accuracy, which do you think got the characters better?
I gotta say Fantastic Four. Like yeah, I haven't read many, Fantastic Four comics. Granted, I'm kind of like you, like I'm just going off of vibes and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, you muted.
I don't know how that happened. Yeah, like I'm kind of going off of vibes, obviously, for Fantastic Four because I haven't read that many of the comics, but I think Fantastic Four did it better for me. I feel like so many of the characters in Superman were like so just goofy and stuff. And to me, it doesn't really work for those characters. I feel like it works better for the Fantastic Four, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. So I get what you're saying for sure. They both of them are definitely embraced goofiness in comic books, and I like that personally. As long as they just don't take it too far to the point where everything becomes a joke, I don't mind. I think so. One of the things I liked about Superman, I did actually feel most of the characters felt fairly accurate. To be honest with you, I felt like for the most part, I was like, that's something this character would do. That's something this character would do. And for the most part, I felt that way about this movie too. Now I will say, because again, what I have read, so I've read like a few issues of Burns' run. I've read like Secret Wars, a lot of stuff they cross over. There's a few times they cross over with the X-Men. I just finished Claremont's whole X-Men run, like an hour before the stream. I finished the last issue, maybe not even, which, yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with a great run. And so I think, from what I've read, it feels like they got the dynamics mostly right. Now, my complaints, first of all, I thought Pedro Pascal was not going to be a good cast when they cast him.
Same.
I was won over. I think he was very good. I did not expect to because people are like, he's the leading man. And it's like, he doesn't have that kind of, in my opinion, that kind of energy usually.
Right.
He can. But the reason I think he worked is because that's kind of not who Reed Richards is. He's not like trying to be this like alpha leader. He's not a Captain America. That's not what he is. And so for that respect, I think it worked because he is kind of that dorky scientist that like kind of forgets certain things, like certain social cues, certain things he should be picking up on. I think they did the character very well. I think Vanessa Kirby was good as Sue Storm. I think she was. All right, so I never saw the 2015 one. I heard it was like unwatchable.
I need to watch that one. I've never seen it.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I heard it was because I remember it was in the theaters and it was like because normally I'd get my friends every time there's a new superhero movie. I'd like grab whatever friends of mine and I'd be like, we got to go see this. And this time it was like. I just didn't have the motivation. I'm like, I don't feel like dragging my friends to this. I don't even feel like dragging myself to this. Like even the director I remember was coming out and trashing the movie right before it leaked. And I was like,
wow,
this is not, reading the comics is more of a leader, but either works. Okay. All right. So I thought he was one of the things I will say is people were saying before this movie, and I think there's a lot of rage bait. They were like, Sue Storm's the leader of the team. Not the case at all.
Right.
I don't know who reported that, but because I was like, oh, that's stupid. No, not at all. Like, not even a little bit. There was, at most, you could argue she was really useful in a fight, which isn't really, that's not the same thing. And she also took a stand at one point. Yeah, but that's not Like, no, I don't. I think that was an odd report. I think Johnny I liked. And for Ben Grimm, I think the writing on him was good. The performance I thought was fine. The problem I have is so Michael, I think Chicklets was the last one. Like that was perfect casting as the thing. Down to the voice, the grovelly way he talks, because that's how he sounds in the comics. He doesn't have like a New York accent in this movie, and I wish he did. I think the thing looked the part. I like that he had the like Kirby kind of brow.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
But it's kind of weird that he had a shirt for a lot of it, but I didn't necessarily mind too much. But I just don't think he was the best. I just don't think that he really nailed the voice. I think the writing was there. I like that the thing is kind of like a bit of a softie, even though he's the nice guy. Like he's like, oh, he doesn't want to hurt Herbie's feelings, which Herbie I love too.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think the characters are done pretty well though, and the way they played off of each other was pretty great for the most part.
No, absolutely. Like, did you like how do you feel about the old Fantastic Four movies? I love them.
I rewatched the first one for the first time in years, and I was surprised how much because I'm like, oh god, I remember people saying this was bad, and I went back and I was like, man, that was kind of charming. I mean, all right, so the biggest thing, and it's not the actor's fault who just died recently, but the biggest Achilles heel of that movie obviously is Victor Von Doom is just straight up not in that movie. There's a guy who calls himself Victor Von Doom, who is just he's every early 2000s villain. They'll have a scene where they're like in a boardroom when they're like, our stocks are down, and then they have like they that character was he did the best of what he was given. What he was given was garbage. But outside of that, I thought the team was pretty good. I thought Jessica Alba looked good, but I think she was cast more because she was hot and less because she actually fit the character. I think Vanessa Kirby was both. I think she actually fit the character. I think Jessica Alba was the one of the original four that didn't really fit, and the other four I thought were great.
No, absolutely. I like those movies just have such like a charm to it. I love Rise of the Silver Surfer too. That one's
I need to
awesome.
rewatch it. Oh, I'll have to get at some point because I'll have to get Dan Farragut on stream because he's a good friend of mine. I found out he storyboarded Silver Surfer, that movie. So I'll have to get that Rise of the Silver Surfer. All right, let's talk about that then. So obviously, oh shit, I should have rewatched that before this. That way, I could have directly compared how they handled Galactus. So one of them has Galactus, and the other has a cloud.
Yeah, that.
So I think we can safely say this was a better depiction. Oh, it's up. Awesome. Yeah, good stuff.
What's up, bro? Thank you.
So what Galactus I thought was great in this movie. I thought it was so
absolutely.
Cool. I mean, granted, the bar was very low. Literally, all you had to do was just put Galactus in the movie, and you beat the old one. You know. Galactus. Hang on, I'm trying to find a picture of him because I remember he was a cloud, right? Wasn't that what it was? What the fuck did he look like? Hold on, I'm trying to find a picture of him, Galactus in the original. What did he look like? Oh my god, he was in it, right? Wasn't he in Rise of the Silver Surfer? But what did he look like?
Yeah, I think so. I remember him just being like a cloud. It was weird.
Yes. All right. So this, I mean, I think we're winning with this. There we go. Jesus.
Oh my
God. How far we've come. So I think the first few movies caught the idea of the family really well. I think I think the first one was pretty solid, and this one was too. Right. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this new one. What did you think of the new Silver Surfer?
I thought she was fine, Shia LaBeouf. What kind of annoys me about like a lot of fans is like they'll like whenever they make like a big change to a character, whether it's anything, whether it's like race or gender, or even if it's just like a aspect of the character, like if they make a character more funny or more aggressive, or like they'll always point to one comic or two comics, like, oh, well, they were this way in this comic.
Yeah.
You know? like Jason Todd was a funny kid in this one issue of Detective Comics, and like, or in this case, Silver Surfer, this is a different version of the character, and like they kind of use that, and it's like, I mean, I guess, but they did the same
Yeah.
thing with Madam Web. I mean, she has 0 comics, and they decided that like we're gonna make a whole movie about her. Same thing
Yeah.
with Craven, like.
Yeah, to me, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it because honestly, I'm sick of the whole discussion sometimes, but there's nothing else I can really say. It just felt like they had wanted an excuse to have a female version. And because I just don't remember anyone clamoring for this character. The only thing I remember was when they casted her, they had a female, they're like, well, it's a different character in the comics. And it's like, yeah, but no one asked for that.
Right, like it happened in like 2 issues. Like she wasn't like a main player in any like big events and stuff. And also, I feel like if you're gonna make a, because I was looking at some of the concept art for her, and it looked really really good. It looked way better than what we got in the movie. She looked fine in the movie, but her eyes, I don't know, like the Silver Surfer from the original Fantastic Four movies, like he looked amazing. Like the CGI was great.
Mm-hmm.
This one I feel like it was kind of a step down. So I don't know. I thought she was fine though. Like she didn't make me mad or anything, but it was just like, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. I don't think she was a bad character, but
Right.
I question why I question why like they went with that when it was feel they were just adapting this iconic storyline. Like, why change this one thing when everything else felt right? And
Right.
it felt like I want to see it felt almost unfinished because like I want to see the actual Silver Surfer that everyone loves. And it was like I just don't understand why it just felt like an odd decision, to be honest.
And here's the thing, like I thought, like when the casting originally was casted, everyone was like, a lot of people were like getting mad about it. I really wasn't, because I thought they were gonna bring back the old Silver Surfer from the older movies, and they're using the multiverse and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe the Silver Surfer from the 2000s movies, maybe he comes to this universe, and like he knows this female Silver Surfer, and like they're a couple, and I thought that would have been cool. Like that would actually make sense. I'm pretty sure like
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is in the comics, but no, he's just like there's no like male Silver Surfer. So
Yeah, that's what I thought they were gonna do something where it's like, oh well, maybe they'll have kind of she comes in and then she gets killed off. She's like, see, we used it for this role because we know we're saving the real one for later, and they didn't do that. And so I was like, well, why use this? Like, to be frank, and I'm not saying that this Chronos could be a great character in the comics, but it's not the one everyone's clamoring for. Everyone's clamoring, and it's like annoying because they go, "We're dedicating this movie to Jack Kirby." Then why didn't you use his version of the character? I just looked her up. Like Shia LaBeouf was not created by Jack Kirby. Like if you're like, "Oh, I love Jack Kirby. Oh, this is all for him. The name is named after him." Then use his character. Like Silver Surfer, I'm pretty sure he even said was his favorite character. So that feels like a direct slap in the face to do that. And people will be like, "Well, is your problem that it's a woman?" Well, that's a valid complaint if the character's a man. Like. And the character was good.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, and like another problem, I guess, this is like spoilers and stuff, right?
Yeah, we're going all in on spoilers with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the post credit scene, like because like it's not just how I feel about Silver Surfer. Doctor Doom appearing too, like him. I obviously we're gonna see him in Doomsday, and which they already said that Reed Richards isn't gonna be a main character in Doomsday.
What?
And like, yeah, they said that he's not a main character. I'm assuming since it's Avengers, they're probably gonna have Sam and I guess the Avengers characters. So, but I feel like that's just so weird, and that's another slap in the face and disingenuous because it's like, bro, Doctor Doom is a Fantastic Four villain.
Yeah.
Like could he like he's been villains of other characters too? Like he's been an Avengers villain. He's even been
Spider-Man. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh, like he's even faced off against Black Panther. Like, and
that's cool. Yeah.
Right.
Latveria versus Wakanda.
Yeah, like it was pretty interesting. Like there was a series called Doom War. It's really good, but now we're having him go against the Avengers, and Reed isn't even like have you read Hickman's Secret Wars?
I've heard it's great. That's what they're basing it on, right?
Not really. I don't think so. Because
Well, in theory, it seems to me like they're not
Yeah.
basing it on anything. It feels like they're
Right.
taking the broad, which again, comics do that. That is perfectly fine, right? Like, but it seems to me like that's probably. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying? It sounds like you know more about this than me because I haven't been following. I've been out of loop.
Yeah,
What were you
like in a Secret Wars, that series, that's not, people look at the cover. The cover of the book is like a bunch of multiverse. You see Miles Morales on it, like a bunch of multiversal characters, and people assume that's what the book's about. But the book's really like a character study on Reed and Doom. It's like a deep intellectual skirmish between the two, and how much Doom hates and wants to be Reed. Like it's very deep. And we're gonna get this MCU movie where like Doctor Doom and Reed don't even have a relationship. Like we don't even it's just weird.
That's
and,
so. Ugh.
and another thing I didn't like too was like in the post credit scene, I really want Doctor Doom. First of all, you could have Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. That's fine, but he can't be Victor Von Doom.
No,
Okay?
I agree.
Exactly. What I wanted, which similar things have happened in the comics too, I wanted to see basically like an alternate universe where Tony Stark became Doctor Doom. Like let's say in this universe, in Avengers Endgame, instead of the Avengers defeating Thanos, Thanos snaps everybody away and he wins. And Tony's the last man standing. And then like he kills Thanos and he just becomes crazy. Like he's like,
Yeah,
"I will
that'd be
never
cool.
Right, exactly. And he became Doctor Doom. Like I thought they would go that route, and I thought they would kind of like kind of mold like his Iron Man suit where like he looks like Iron Man, but he also looks like Doctor Doom. So like you can clearly tell like this is Doctor Doom, but it's clearly not the Doctor Doom. But seeing him in the post-credit scene where like he has the same Doctor Doom mask, he has the Doctor Doom cape thing, like the hood and all of that. That really, kind of upset me because it's like, bro, he's not Doctor Doom. Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It seems like, but here's my thing is I agree, especially with the casting. That's what they should do with that casting. But I think that casting was a mistake in general. And I think why are we leading with a multiversal? We haven't even gotten our Doctor Doom right yet. Why are we starting? We haven't gotten like a main doc. Like, and the thing is, I wanted that. I think they were hinting at him. Here's the thing I will say I liked about this movie in specific. It felt like a self-contained movie.
Right.
And now we are speculating how it fits into the broader scale. And so because it was self-contained, that's why I can complain about Silver Surfer. Because I'm like, if this movie existed and they never made another, that would be like, what the hell? Why do you switch out Silver Surfer? Right. But then I'm judging it on its own merits. I don't know what their multiversal plan is. And on that same token, I thought what they did leading up to Doctor Doom, if I knew nothing about the casting and only saw that end credit scene, I'd be like, this is so cool. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Makes perfect sense. And I like that this movie had end credit scenes that weren't doing that. It seems to me like they might have realized that they shot themselves in the foot a bit by making everything building into the next thing. And I think it's almost, they've realized that they've kind of made watching these movies a bit of a chore. Which is something they've done in comics. Had this problem too. I remember even when I was finishing Claremont's X-Men run, because I started reading all these other series, and there were times I'm like, I don't want to read this spin-off. Like, I don't want to. And comics do that all the time. The difference is, movies are more expensive to make, and also comic book fans, we are like very dedicated. The average moviegoer is not dedicated. They will drop it so quickly. For the next hot thing. And I think that they're realizing, and again, that would be fine if they were making great movies, but I just lost it. I heard Thunderbolts was decent. I didn't see it though. I heard mixed things. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. A lot of people kind of lost interest, but I think this one was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. I like that they had Mole Man show up. I wish he did more. Instead of just being a montage. Apparently, John Malkovich was cut from the movie.
Yeah, he was. They cut a lot of stuff from the movie, like stuff that you saw in the trailers, like wasn't in the movie.
I have to rewatch the trailers, and that's interesting. Sorry, I didn't see this. The new movie reflected a very important point on FF. They are not superheroes. They are explorers. Going to Galactus' world was incredible. That's interesting. Well, 'cause, I mean, I guess that makes sense in their first appearance. I also like you saw them fighting the monster in their first appearance. That was cool. My bet is Tony Stark did not die in Infinity Wars. He just shifted to the FF universe. Doctor Doom is Tony. See, that's probably what they're going with, and I hate it. I hate Victor Von Doom is such a cool character because I was under the impression that he was in both Fantastic Four movies, and again, actor did best with what he was given, but he just had electricity powers. And I was like, what? And then when I get to reading Secret Wars, I remember, you know what it actually was? This series was a mixed bag, but the one character they got right was Doctor Doom, was Ultimate Spider-Man. There's one episode where they captured. Do you ever watch that show, Ultimate Spider-Man? This is Disney XD.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, there's one episode where they capture Doctor Doom, and he just like, you brought him on, and you just see Nick Fury is terrified of Doctor Doom, and he just decimates everyone. And I was like, okay, like I had never seen Doctor Doom represented apparently truthfully in that way. And then I started going more and more. And in Secret Wars, you have the original Secret Wars where he takes on the Beyonder. I mean, that is crazy, you know?
Right.
And it feels like if we're not getting this character in favor of nostalgia bait and multiverse crap, that is the biggest mistake the MCU can make, is
absolutely
doing that. Because again, this movie, what I liked about this movie is it was focused on, for the most part, accurately doing the source material. To the best, as far as I could tell, it felt like the Fantastic Four to me. It really did. It felt like it got the nature of the characters, it felt like it got the nature of the story. It felt self-contained. And I feel like to step into this universe that is minus Silver Surfer, which Silver Surfer, again, as a character is perfect. Otherwise, well, at least pretty cool. Otherwise, but to me, it felt very strange to kind of go in and just insert like an MCU character. And I'm almost like, don't touch this Fantastic Four world. I'm almost like, I like this world. Don't touch it. Because I agree. They're going to do some shit. And I know they're like crafting this. I think they really did a good job with setting this in its own world because they allowed it to really breathe on its own. Right. And I know that they're just going to do. I'm going to enjoy what we have right now because I know there's going to be some shenanigans pulled.
Absolutely. Like and people don't understand. Like I wonder, which people are going to show up for the movie just because it's Robert Downey Jr. They're going to recognize his face as Iron Man, so they're going to watch it regardless. But it's like I don't think people understand. There was no like Doomsday is coming out. They just decided to do this, so it's like we've never seen. I mean, we haven't even seen Dr. Doom's face. All we saw was like one shot of him, you know, with the kid. But it's like you realize like that we're the next movie is going to be Spider-Man, and right after that I think is Doomsday. Like we're jumping straight into Doomsday. We know nothing about the Doctor Doom. We barely know about the Fantastic Four. The Avengers haven't even formed yet. Like we know nothing about nothing, and like they're just going into it. Like so, I mean, like to be honest, this is a hot take, but I'm kind of at this point I'm ready for them because they were talking about recasting certain characters and stuff, and like they're rebooting the X-Men and stuff. I'm ready for them to do that. I'm ready to get like actual comic accurate stories and stuff. Even when it comes to Spider-Man, like I know like people have been talking about this for years, but which I mean he's fine after No Way Home. That kind of brought him back to basics, but like he doesn't have an Uncle Ben or Aunt May. He's not really doing anything. He never got a Gwen Stacy.
That's the thing. He's not. MCU Spider-Man to me is not Spider-Man. I'm sorry, he's too different.
He's not. He's borderline Miles Morales. It's funny, like they kind of they took a lot of stuff from Miles Morales' story.
That's like, so weird.
Yeah,
really?
like Genki, bro. Like if you read comics, bro, Genki in that movie is literally Ned.
Is literally him. Yeah. Why? So hang on. So they had a black character and they made the white guy like him.
Yeah, pretty much. He's literally
what the hell,
bro. Yeah, like you know, which I will say this: a lot of people get mad at how Iron Man was mentoring Tom Spider-Man. That is I've read all the Civil War books and the tie-in to Spider-Man stuff. That is accurate. Like Tony did kind of become a father figure to Spider-Man in the comics, but like it wasn't like they really like Spider-Man was this little kid in the movie. Like that's not Spider-Man to me at all.
Yeah.
And
I just don't think that character, like especially Far From Home, and a lot of people loved it. To me, it's solidified that that is the weakest of the three Spider-Mans by far, and we spent the most time with them. What we remember most about the movie is when the better Spider-Mans come in.
yeah,
I'm
and
sorry, and Tom Holland does a good job, but again, like you said, the supporting cast is all wrong. His backstory is all wrong. Everything's wrong. Like it just doesn't feel like Spider-Man. And I think they're gonna do that shit with Doctor Doom. They'll be like, "Well, isn't he cool? This is a cool Doctor Doom you wanted." No, literally, just read the fucking comics and give us that. That is all we're at. And they're like, "Well, what if? Oh, we need Doctor Doom to be cool. They messed him up the first 2 times. Well, what if we bring in Robert Downey Jr. and make him the big threat?" No, I don't. Literally, just take this and just put it here. That is all you need to do. And they can't. And I think also the thing too is, I'm sorry, so is he just going to be voice acting? Because Doctor Doom, you don't see his face.
Right. The whole point of his story is his face is scarred and he doesn't show it. Like, bro, it's so weird. Like, I'm the more I think about it, the more pissed off I get because it's like, what is this?
Yeah, his name is Doctor Doom, but it's also literally his name because he's a doctor, correct? Like, because he's good with science and shit. I don't know. My lack of, but his last name is Doom. Like, he is Doctor Doom.
Right.
You know, so it's like for him to just, so is that just something he's calling himself, which again is standard for villains, but Doctor Doom is not your standard villain. Doctor Doom. See, you know what's funny? I notice whenever I do one of these comic book streams, especially if we like the movie, we'll say, yeah, it's good anyway, and then we go theorizing. We did this with Superman, we did this, whatever. We spend more time talking about the next, which is I'm fine with. Like I said, I keep these laid back. Right. And I think that's a good thing to the movie's credit. Again, I liked how self-contained it was. I liked that it felt like if they were only going to make one Fantastic Four movie, this was it. And I think, well, I think it was a good idea from the beginning. I was like, don't touch Doctor Doom with this movie. You fucked them up like what, 3 times?
Yeah.
All right. Take a breather. Give us like Galactus or Silver Surfer, even though they messed that up. I haven't rewatched that movie. Is Silver Surfer good? I remember liking when I was a little kid, but I was also a little kid.
No, he is. He's actually really good in that movie. Like, I like him. I don't know too much about Silver Surfer in the comics, so like Fantastic Four comic fans, they may feel differently. But for me, the limited knowledge I have, I liked him.
Yeah, I need to read. So that's one of my runs. I finished Claremont's X-Men. I want to finish New Teen Titans. I want to finish the original Spider-Man, Invincible. I want to finish, and I want to dive through all of the original Fantastic Four stuff. Because I mean, looking at it, like, how many characters do we know that? Like, because people, I feel like in our lifetime, the Fantastic Four have almost been kind of like neglected, which is weird because they were like the cornerstone of Marvel. They were like the central point of Marvel Comics the longest time. And now it's the X-Men and Avengers, Spider-Man, all this, and Fantastic Four are kind of like over here, you know. But I mean, you look at it, like everyone would kind of show up there, like for the first time. You had Doctor Doom, obviously. Then even characters like the Inhumans, Black Panther. Who else first showed up? The Skrulls, the Kree. You know. Oh, what's going on, Doug? Yeah, hang on. Maybe I will. One sec. I'll let you know. I might bring you on. But because I know Kevin Ryan knows his shit when it comes to this. But I guess overall, I don't have a lot of complaints about the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I've kind of accepted. Like I'm in a phase of my like I guess superhero fan thing where like I'm done expecting these movies to get the characters or the stories right. I'm just gonna focus on reading the stories. Like I'm like, y'all don't want to get it right, whatever. Like I just read the comics.
Yeah.
At this point. And it still makes me, because you were just talking about Tom on Spider-Man, it still makes me so mad because they could have easily just used Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in Civil War. You didn't need to give us a new Spider-Man. You already had one. Like there was nothing stopping them. Because we already Andrew Garfield, we already know that character. We already know who he is. We saw Uncle Ben died. We saw Gwen Stacy died. You could have easily, and he's actually mature and we like him. You could have easily pulled him in and like it would have been perfectly fine. That still like upsets me.
Yeah, no, that bothers me. I think here's the thing that people don't realize. Like the MCU has made its fair share of mistakes, and I said this about Superman that I think the DCEU or not the whatever the DC studio DC what are they calling it?
They call it the DCU.
All right, that's better than the DCEU. That was always a
Right.
stupid name. The DCU, I think, is going to have a similar thing where certain characters they're going to nail and certain characters they're not. And I think it's the same thing with the MCU. They're going to get certain characters right, and they're going to get certain characters dead wrong. And you just kind of, like you said, you kind of have to accept it. You know, this is just how they are. And we just kind of, it's kind of the same thing where like you'll read a comic that's continuity. And you have to go, yeah, that didn't happen. Even though objectively it happened, you just gotta go, you know, like, yeah, I mean, we don't gotta talk about that. Like that's how that's I guess kind of part of it. And I think the mainstream is kind of getting it. Now, my problem is a lot of normies will come in, and this is my problem I had with like the new Spider-Man. Is my little cousin, I remember, would be like, oh, Spider-Man. And that was his first exposure, was the new one. So he's not understanding the core tenets of the character. He's not understanding Mary Jane. He has no idea who that is. He has no idea who Gwen Stacy is. He has no idea who Uncle Ben is. And I'm like, that drives me crazy because there's always this mentality by studios of we got to make it because someone might not know. No, you have to reinforce the same stuff, even if you don't show the backstory over and over. Marvel did it for decades. And the argument is always, well, it gets old. No, because there are literally hundreds of Spider-Man stories you have not told yet.
Exactly.
Hundreds. But you're like, oh, it's on them that they keep telling the same one over and over again. Like, how complicated is this backstory to even gloss over in like a minute or two at this point? You could even just have, like, even the new Superman, you know, I know you had your issues with it, explains it pretty well. I was annoyed with what they did with the L's.
Yeah.
That bothered the hell out of me. But they explain it, and it's like, here it is. This is what Superman is all about. Now, again, I don't like that because now people are going to have the wrong idea of, oh, well, his Kryptonian parents are terrible. No, that bothers me. But overall, I did like it. And I think this was a good representation of the Fantastic Four. I liked Franklin Richards as well. That was a solid twist. When did Franklin Richards first show up? Was he originally there?
Another thing that annoys me too is kind of I get why people say it, but like I've been hearing a lot of people say like we're done with origin stories. We don't need origin stories in movies anymore. And like it feels so like selfish because it's like you realize like you're not the last generation of Earth. Like there are kids, like there are like young kids who like are gonna grow up. You want them to grow up to be fans of these characters. They need to see the origin stories. Like
right.
Like, oh well, we'll just not and I feel like that's lazy. I think some movies do it right. And like you don't need the origin in every movie, but like damn, like there's nothing wrong with showing an origin story, bro. Like it doesn't even have to be that long.
100%. I think again, hearing my little cousin saying that and just knowing that he just has no understanding, and it's like that to me was it reinforced. Okay, no, we do need to go back because like I may know, but I have known. I know because it was old by the time I first found out. Right, like I was born 1999. Those characters were old as shit back then. They're just even older now. But the thing is, they understood that we need to keep doing it. We need to keep reminding them. And I think and also when they get something wrong, like making Galactus a cloud, that sticks with people. So when I found out, because I remember when I found out about Galactus, I was like, that's cool. And I was like, wait, that's the same as that's the cloud? You know, I was like, the cloud. There was a thing, I'm telling you, in like 2000 superhero movies, there was a thing with cloud-based villains. So like there was a cloud Galactus, right? Parallax was a cloud in Green Lantern. And then in the Ang Lee Hulk movie, he turns into a cloud as his final attack. I don't know what it was, but in the early 2000s, they just decided that they were like, there was like something with cloud-based villains. I don't know.
They probably did that because they wanted to save money on CGI.
I guess. But isn't that? I guess that would be cheaper. I guess. I don't know, but I mean, I guess maybe they thought like a cosmic threat couldn't look like. I don't know. But Galactus was cool, man. I liked just him walking around in the city, like seeing those shots. When I first saw that shot in the trailer, I was like, that's cool. I think the 60s aesthetic was a nice touch. I like the Fantastic Car. We never saw it fly though, right? No, we didn't.
No.
Isn't it? It's supposed to fly, isn't it? Whatever. It was fine. I think.
I love how I switched aspect ratios with Galactus. That was cool.
Oh, that's right. They did do that. Yeah. I didn't get to see it in IMAX, but apparently it was even cooler in IMAX. Yeah, Galactus. That was cool. Overall, I really like the movie. It's hard for me to just kind of go back and forth and be like, yeah, I liked it. Yeah. Overall, I thought it was fun. I want to know more about Mole Man because Mole Man seems cool. What was the other guy? It was John Malkovich's character.
I don't think he was he in the movie? I forgot. I don't know how to remember. I just saw the movie yesterday.
God, what was Red Ghost or something?
I think that was
Red Ghost. Okay, Red Ghost. And the Super Apes. Yeah, that was another thing. There were always like apes in the old comics. They always had ape-based villains. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, the Red Ghost. Okay, I need to read. All right, so he first appeared in issue 13. Okay, so yeah, another original villain in the comics. Okay. Yeah, but overall, I had fun with the movie. I thought it was a good time. There was someone else who was gonna. I don't know if he's just not swinging by, but it's fine. Oh, okay. No, he'll join. So yeah, in the meantime, yeah, it's up to you. Should we bring in another comic expert? Up to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, cool. All right, sounds good. Yeah, sorry, just seeing this now. I'll send you the link, and we'll get into talking about the comics. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was overall a fun time, and it's funny because I normally am more I'm more opinionated. But I feel like I kind of said everything I need to say. And I wish I had read more. I want to because I know this is apparently based on the Galactus trilogy. I guess one of the things I liked was that it was a cosmic threat, which meant it was different. They couldn't just go up and punch it. Now the downside is you don't see a ton of their powers used.
Right.
But I was fine with that personally. I don't know. How'd you feel about that? Like the fact that it's not really a physical threat so much.
I thought it was just fine. Like, I don't know. These movies, I'm trying to think. When's the last time a lot of these movies just feel kind of, I'm not trying to be mean to them, but like they feel a little bit soulless. Like even when I like it, like I just like, all right, that was a good movie. And I move on with my day.
Yeah, that's how I kind of am. It used to be like the center of my universe. And I'm kind of like, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Even if this might be objectively the best FF movie, I was just kind of like, okay.
Right. Like, it's just when I watched The Dark Knight, which there's no nostalgia for it because I didn't even watch it in theaters. But like when I watched that from my bed, like The Dark Knight, and I just think about that ending, like where like Batman's like he's running away, and Jim Gordon's like Jim Gordon's son says like, why are they chasing him? Why are the cops chasing him? It's like because like he can take it. Because he's not a hero, he's the Dark Knight, and like
I think that's true. Yeah.
I don't get that feeling from these.
Yeah, 1 second. All right, Kevin Ryan, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, what's doing, man?
It's doing well. No, I get what you're saying, man. Like, I just finished Claremont's X-Men run, and the ending of that last story kind of sticks with you where it has something to say. And I think these movies, a lot of this one, it's kind of like, oh, she died, but then she immediately comes back. And it kind of, or this character we know nothing about, Silver Surfer, sacrifices herself, but maybe not. And I'm not saying anyone has to die, but I get what you're saying, where it's kind of like, whatever. Like, it's kind of like, whoop, on to the next one. And I think it's fine. It's a service. It's a good movie, but I get what you're saying, where it doesn't it's not like that gut punch that'll stick with you for years. Like that first Spider-Man movie, and maybe part of it is definitely nostalgia for sure, but also the first Spider-Man movie where he gets impaled on the glider and he's like, don't tell Harry. And, he has this moment where he can't tell Mary. He finally has the woman he's wanted since the first scene throwing herself at him. And he can't take it because he doesn't want her to get hurt again. Like, that kind of stuff. This movie had some of that. Like I think the whole thing where Galactus is like offering up their child, where they have the decision to make. I think that was really cool, where they confess. Oh, the price was too high. It was a thing, and Reed Richards in his awkwardness is kind of like, oh,
that might have been the one thing I wasn't crazy about. I don't know if Reed should have told everybody.
Yeah,
because everybody turned against him after that.
Do you think he wouldn't have done that based on the character? You've read a fair. Have you read the full? What? So what have you read? Fantastic Four wise?
Oh my god! No, I've read everything. I've read everything up to probably issue 1 through 310, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he would have. I think they would have said something like, "There's a way to save the world. We'll find the world. We'll find that way." And I think they would have debated it amongst themselves and pretty quickly come to the conclusion, no, we're not going to sacrifice Franklin.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, because that felt a little bit messy with how it comes out. Like Reed definitely being a little awkward out the gate, but it's also like, so when one of the other things too is they get off the ship and it's like no one warned them before they got off the ship that there was a press conference. Like they were kind of walking, like they were just going to go home. No one was like, "Hey, before you get off the rocket, you might want to prepare yourselves."
But I don't know. You said you hadn't read, and I hope my audio is okay because my video is a mess. But in the original stories, they're explorers. They go to the hidden world of the Inhumans. They go to Wakanda. They go to Atlantis. They go to Latveria. They go to all these. They go to the Negative Zone. They go to all these different places, the blue area and the moon. And in the first movies, Silver Surfer and the original Ian Griffard, Michael Chiklis FF, they don't go anywhere. They go to Tokyo.
That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. That makes sense.
Yeah, so them getting on the rocket and saying, we're going to go to him, that's exactly what the FF would have done. They nailed it.
That's cool. Yeah, like I said, I felt spiritually very much like the FF. And it's interesting, too, because my understanding is that the Fantastic Four were monster characters first and foremost, or not monster characters, but they were like come from a time, obviously, with their first appearance. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, where superheroes were kind of out of style, right? So they kind of were not your typical superheroes. Oh,
completely. The FF, if you want to know, there's an old pulp series from the 30s called Doc Savage, and Doc Savage was a guy who was raised by his father, who was a scientist. You ever read that Alan Moore series, Doc Strong?
No.
Okay. But anyway, so Doc Savage is raised by his father in a cage or something and trained to be the smartest, strongest guy ever. And he has a headquarters at the top of the Empire State Building, and he has all these sidekicks, one of whom is really smart, one is strong, one is like a burglar, and they all go to places all over the world and they fight ghosts and goblins and monsters. And that is what the Fantastic Four is.
Okay.
And Reed is that guy. And then in the 50s, Jack Kirby kind of stole it and created what was called the Challengers of the Unknown, which is four guys.
Familiar.
Yep. They got in a plane crash, and they all said one of them was a scientist, one was a boxer, one was something else. And they said, oh, we're living on borrowed time. We have to go explore things and fight monsters. And then they redid it again with Fantastic Four. So they're explorers.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah. The first time they meet Dr. Doom kidnaps Sue and makes the Fantastic Four go back in time to the 1700s to steal the treasure of Blackbeard, which has magical jewelry in it that he can cast weird spells. That's how they meet him.
That's interesting. I didn't know any of that. Yep. But that makes sense why they have that 60s aesthetic, because that kind of storytelling you don't see a ton of anymore, I feel like.
How do you mean?
Well, where it's like a new adventure every issue, which is part of what I did like about this movie is them going on an adventure. But I mean, like, I don't like them always. I think part of the thing too is we live in such a time where like we know most of the Marvel universe, but them kind of exploring uncharted territory it's an interesting thing. I don't know where I was going with that. It made sense in my head.
I think the key thing, I think this is what works well with movies. They're about 90 minutes to 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Okay. So Get us into a story, tell us the story quickly, wrap it up, get us out of the story. And with TV shows and comic books, we're going to take 18 months and 43 issues to tell you the story.
Yeah.
Do you have that much story?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's one of the things I thought was good about it. But one of the things that I liked about it was so Fantastic Four, because a lot of those 60 stories, it was boom, here's beginning, middle, end, generally speaking, early on. And it feels like now, like what you were describing is kind of what it became, that longer story. And what Sean and I were talking about was, we like that this was, I personally, and I think you were saying the same thing, like that this was self-contained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And our fears are, oh God, how is this going to lead into the which I don't think Doomsday is very well planned at all. They were like, oh, we weren't really doing Kang. I'm like, yes, you were.
Yes, you were. Yeah, by the way, the Doomsday movie is going to be the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men.
Yeah. And the Fantastic Four are probably going to get a backseat in Doomsday. Doom.
Yeah. Well, we know that Robert Downey is the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that can make $1 billion at the box office. So let's push it that way. At least we'll get the Marvel movies back on track, because now they remember, and a lot of time, and Superman is the same thing. They remember that comic books are not grimdark. They're not people getting their arms and legs ripped off and everything takes place at night. It's fun.
Yeah.
And the FF is fun, and Superman is fun.
I agree. I 100%, like, here's the thing, you can have your issues and whatever, and I think, like, people are like, oh, it's not perfect, but to be honest, a lot of the early comics were not perfect stories either. You know, you can take apart, like, that doesn't make sense, but it was fun. And don't get me wrong, I like the dark stories, but to me, the dark stories, you have to have those lighter stories to make room for the darker stories. There is
discussion even on YouTube with, like, the independent comic creators, and I won't mention any names, but they say, oh boy, such and such a guy is a terrible artist. Look at how that arm is positioned. Look at how that couch is sitting on the floor. And it's like, dude, if Jack Kirby walked into Marvel Comics today, they'd laugh at him.
Yeah, that's true. That's another problem too. I remember talking to Mark Morales, who's an inker, and he was telling me, I was like, do you think that, like, they shot themselves in the foot with the 90s? Because I think they kind of did. Because the problem is that they're so focused on making every panel super detailed. And the fact of the matter is, most people are going to look at it for 2 seconds because they have a to-read pile that's like this big.
You know what I think Jack Kirby did? Jack Kirby did almost 90% of his work in his basement at a wooden desk with a pencil. Okay. And he would sit there and draw out these kooky characters, these wacky looking creatures. And then he would look at him and he'd say, what does that guy do? What's his name? And that would be the story.
Do you think so? Sorry, not to derail. Do you think that that it was more Kirby than Lee? I know that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think that Lee knew how to script things. Lee knew how to make people talk, whereas Kirby didn't so well. And if you listen to interviews with Kirby, that's kind of reflected in that. Whereas
I agree. He's very long-winded. He seems like an intelligent guy, but that he wasn't a dialogue guy, is my understanding.
I remember somebody asked Kirby, what's your motivation for writing the stories? And Kirby would say, my motivation is I had to feed my wife and children. I had to, and it's like, okay. And you ask Stan, what's your motivation? And Stan will go, we're sitting around thinking up the most incredible adventures for the Marvel superheroes for your enjoyment. It's like, yeah, okay, you're a dialogue guy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Bro, your voice, you nailed the voice perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's, look, I think I gotta confess, I need to read Kirby's. I don't think I've actually read any of the stuff he did.
You know, I'll tell you that FF 2526, when I was a little kid, my grandmother and I went to a drugstore and I saw this giant sized treasury of Marvel reprints for $1.25. And I asked my grandmother, get this for me. And she did. And the 2 stories in the back were FF 25 and 26. And the opening page Reed, the Thing is literally climbing the walls to get away from Reed because he's created a formula that'll turn him back into Ben Grimm, and he doesn't want to take it, and he knocks it out of his hand. And the next thing you know, they're talking about the Hulk in the newspaper, and within pages, Reed is sick, and the Thing is battling the Hulk out in the streets of Manhattan. And then we find out that the Hulk is in Manhattan to find Rick Jones because Captain America, he's betrayed him to Captain America. And that means that he goes up to the Avengers Mansion on Fifth Avenue. Next thing you know, the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are both battling the Hulk in the streets of Manhattan. Boom, 2 issues.
Nice. Yeah, I have to check that out.
It's an amazing story.
I want to read that whole run. But yeah, I mean, getting back to this, so you felt that it captured the characters well. Then.
Incredibly. And they did it. A lot of the movie, if you notice, takes place in Times Square.
Yeah. When does it take place, by the way? Because they never say a time period, do they? They have a 60s aesthetic.
It couldn't possibly be any time because I used to work in that area. That area that they keep showing is the intersection of 47th Street between Broadway and 7th.
Okay.
So right where if you watch the movie again, behind them you'll constantly see the RKO Palace is written on the building, and that is now the Palace Theater. It sits at 47th Street, and Kitty Corner is a movie theater that used to have a big wraparound billboard, and that's there. It's now the NFL Experience, and they keep showing this giant video screen. That's where Olive Garden is. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I was just in New York City, but I wasn't in that area. I saw the movie in New York City, actually.
Yeah.
Funny. I went out there with my friends, and then the next day we all woke up in a stupor and we just walked to the theater and saw it. But yeah, we were like, oh, that's right outside. This is just destroying this whole.
Oh yeah, but that area, that's where the big red stairs are.
Okay.
In Times Square, and they're not there. So
that was intentional, you think, to make it ambiguous time period?
No, it's not. Well, no, the whole setting is ambiguous. That time period could not have existed. You mentioned the fantastic car flying, and we didn't see it fly.
Right, we didn't see it fly, right?
Oh no, it flew. It flew all over the place. That's what Ben is flying. That's what they shoot the laser at Galactus.
Oh my God, no shit. Yeah, I why did I blank out on it?
But it's like a 64 Corvette.
Yeah, I think what I think in terms of time period, I think it's probably I'm gonna say because they mentioned the first time they walked on the moon, right?
Yep.
So that means we have to. Were they the first people to go into space? They said that, right?
Well, if you notice when Galactus comes up over the moon, there's a flag on the moon in the crater in the Sea of Tranquility, and the flag is not a U.S. flag; it's a flag of the Fantastic Four.
Oh shit! Okay, so then, all right. So I like stuff like that because that is settled world building that makes you want to go back.
That's an entirely alternate universe. There's no time period where that universe could have taken place.
But I think, what I'm saying is their version of all right. So what I'm asking is because if it were, so the MCU is in whatever year. That was another thing. They had that 5-year time skip. So what the hell year is current MCU in?
Let's go with 2030-ish.
Is that when it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So when they travel to this, are they traveling across time and space? Okay, so say Doctor Doom, because it is 4 years later, they say, right?
Yep.
After the events of the movie. So the movie covers about 8 years of time. The main events happen. So it was 4 years ago, they became the Fantastic Four. Then we're in this. The movie takes place over what? A couple of months, 9 months at least.
Yep.
Because the baby gets born.
Yep.
So let's say this almost covers 9 years.
Yeah.
This fucking movie. So then what I'm wondering is because we see Doctor Doom at the end. So is that their equivalent of 2030? Or are we in their equivalent of the 60s?
And if we're in a different universe, does it matter if we go from 2030 back to 2025, or does it? And maybe Doctor Doom is Tony Stark, but in that universe, that universe is Doctor Doom, and Tony realizes he has to get back to our universe.
But so then, because the part of the reason I'm asking this is you bring up the Tony thing. So let's say that, because I'm gonna just say, let's say this takes place in a weird version of the 60s, right? Because again, either that or we have to just assume that the Cold War stopped or something happened and we just didn't go to the moon for like 60 years, which I don't buy.
Well, Reed got us there. That's how they got to the moon.
Right,
Reed got us
which
there.
means it had to have happened in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know?
But Reed got us to the moon in 1961 in the Marvel Universe.
In the comics or just in the comics?
No, in the comics, because in the original comic, he's trying. The reason that they take Johnny along, because Johnny's like 15 years old.
Why do they do that? Yeah, hang on. That's something I want to know. Why? Because I never exactly knew, because they change it in every iteration, which is why
in the movie he's kind of a linguist, but in the comics he's just a moron that fixes cars, and he's based on a character called Kooky Byrne from 77 Sunset Strip, the TV show. So he's just a knucklehead kid, and the reason they take him along on the ride is because they need somebody to run the controls. So they can't wait for government authorization. So because the Russians are going to beat them to the moon. So they take Reed's experimental rocket, go up into space and get hit by the Van Allen radiation belt, and which fills them full of cosmic rays, and they come back to Earth and they're all monsters.
That's interesting.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
So wait, because in the comics, because again, I want to read all of them. Like now, okay. I want to read. God damn it! Okay, so my to read list is so bad, it's horrendous. So my to read list, because I just finished Claremont's run, and it's like a Hydra. Like there's 7 more, because I want to finish New Teen Titans. I really want to read Fantastic Four now. Dude, oh my god! First of all, one character in New Teen Titans that I want to just real quick aside, ADHD, that I think. Like, I liked him always in media, but he was never my favorite. And he became one of my favorites when I read the original comics as Cyborg. Like, I always liked him, but he was never man, dude, in the original comics, he's such a good character. Like, I remember in the show, I liked him. I like that he's the only one that has a catchphrase, which is apparently, I think was made up for the show. But, like, dude, the original comics is that one issue where it's like, him and his dad, which by the way, I don't know how the hell the dad builds an entire building. If you've read the original comics, but he straight up just builds the Titan Tower. And I'm like, how the fuck?
Well, I had a friend of mine. We were talking about, where does Reed Richards get his money from? Because he's got, and we decided that he has a patent on the letter E. So every time anybody uses the letter E, Reed gets paid.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing too. When I was writing my universe, I was like, I'm telling you, man, the most convenient excuse for anything is they have a billionaire friend or something.
Yeah.
It is the most convenient writer's excuse. Like, oh, Professor X, how was he able to rebuild the mansion like every time? I don't know. He just has money. Where did he get the money from? I don't know. You just gotta have to that's like someone like Black Panther. Is the easiest one to write well for. What's going on, Wyatt? Because Black Panther, you could just be like, he has vibranium, and he could probably sell like this much and be set. So like him makes sense, but Bruce Wayne, you're like, how the hell does he have his company does literally everything, and he also can be in 8 different titles a month as Batman,
and he's awake when does he sleep?
Oh, did they released a new bullshit excuse for that? Apparently he has some Buddhist monk trick where he crams 12 hours of sleep into 20 seconds of brain dead space. I'm not joking. He blinks out in his car for 20 seconds and then has 12 hours worth of energy restored. I don't know. I just remember reading it and being like, wow, they'll just make any excuse other than letting this man burn out.
I think that's the editor who is brain dead, actually. I
just remember reading it and being like, yeah, this is why Batman fans are fucking insufferable when they enter the power scaling debates.
Dude, I used to be one of those fans.
Give Batman prep time and he can kill literally anyone.
I used to say that. Hang on. So this is all right. So when I was in middle school, I was one of those Batman fans that would be like, Batman could be literal, and my friends they'd be like, what about God? I'm like, no, because God would learn not to kill Batman. Any scenario, I'd be like, Batman would win. and like they would just totally rip on me. And I used to be like, they don't get it. And then in hindsight, I'm like, no, I was cringe.
The sad part about the modern comics is that like Batman has become the least compelling character. Like in the entire City of Bane arc, the best scene was when Joker ridiculed the fuck out of Bane for killing Alfred in front of Damian instead of in front of Batman.
I haven't.
That was the only. That was the.
Oh, did you
that
guys,
was the
are
only.
you reading Hush 2? Shine, I know you don't like Hush 2, right?
It's bad, bro.
There's a
Yeah,
Hush
I'll
2.
be honest. It's coming out now. I'll be honest, man. I like the ideas of it, but then so Bane shows up for 2 seconds, and then they just go, "That's Ralph." They punch him, and then he's gone in the story. I'm like, why was he even there?
I mean,
Remember-
the first one was kind of the same because Superman showed up for like half an issue.
No, they got a cool fight out of it. No,
I'm just
Bane
saying,
literally
like-
no, but I'm not even kidding. Bane, the cliffhanger of issue 3 is Damian and Bane show up teaming up, and like, what happened? Then like I think Bane like pulls on someone for like 2 seconds, like maybe like a panel, and they go, "That's enough," and then they knock him out. I'm like, so why did you even? Like, why? He adds nothing to the story. I was like, why did you bring him in?
No, but keep in mind that all of comic world operates on rubber science and rubber social constructs. So you can be as rich as you want. You can get hit with gamma rays. Nobody gets cancer. They turn into a green rage monster. It's Batman can sleep in 20 seconds, whatever. You know, so long as the main storyline makes sense in and of itself.
Yeah.
The good modern comics right now that I can think of for DC and Marvel. You got DC. The best that I've been reading is the Absolute Universe. Apparently, Darkseid constructed like edgelord DC universe for the Trinity. Well, I mean, there's more, but the Trinity are the only ones I'm reading. I like the Wonder Woman one and I like the Batman one because Absolute Gotham City is literally just modern day Yarnum from Bloodborne, and Absolute Wonder Woman is literally just Wonder Woman if the lore she lived in and came from had the bite of like historically accurate Greek mythology, because like the gods are like rapists and stuff, and you're like, yeah, that's how they were. Like I always found it not like it made sense because they're trying to appeal to like audiences, but every incarnation of Wonder Woman, the only like remotely villainous god is Hades, and I'm like, maybe lean into that a little more. And then in like Absolute Wonder Woman, all of the gods are super fucked up narcissistic pricks, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, see, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about Absolute Batman, but it just, to me, the premise just doesn't sound interesting to me because
Wonder Woman is cool too.
Like that's what I've heard. I've heard they're all good, but I just
Superman is cool in concept, but I don't think it's taking a longer time to get started to its own detriment. Like I've tried to read it and it's very, very slow for an edgy Superman spinoff. Like not like an evil Superman spinoff, like an edgy one, you know, because that's the whole premise of the Absolute Universe. And then on the Marvel side of things, I know I've gotten pushback for this before, but the Ultimate stuff, the new Ultimate stuff, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine.
Spider-Man was good. I haven't read it yet.
Ultimate Wolverine is good too. It gets a lot of unfair flack because the suit kind of looks ass.
It does. The new Ultimate Wolverine looks terrible.
I like it. I like the Soviet Winter Soldier look on Wolverine. I think it looks cool, but that's just me, apparently.
Oh, wait. So anyway, sorry. We always do this on my show. We always
where were we in the movie? Okay. Where were we in the movie?
We have been just like, it was like we glazed the movie for like 50 minutes and we kind of just kept dicking around. Like, all right, so we'll just, all right, you start and we'll follow you. All right, so what did you think of the movie?
First 2/3 are immaculate. The final act and post-credit scenes fall the fuck off so hard.
A lot of people said that the third act they thought
because
was fall off.
The first 2/3 of the movie, the first 2/3 of the movie are so good. It is straight from the comics. It is beautiful, and then you get to the third act. And you can tell, like, there's a lot of really rough cutting. There's a lot of, like, spur-of-the-moment stuff that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but you got to wrap it up. You got 30 to 40 minutes, and
I'm just saying, like, it like, the difference is clear enough for me personally that I'm like, yeah, they either trim down the first 2/3 so you can better develop the final act, or I guess, write a different final act. That would be my solution. Also, I find it really, really ridiculous that they paid Robert Downey Jr. bucks for that post-credit scene when we never even saw his face.
Wait, hang on, that he was paid for that?
I don't think that was Robert Downey Jr.
No, it was. They confirmed that was Robert Downey Jr. Fantastic Four is one of the films in his contract. They've confirmed it.
I don't believe this. There's no way they paid him for that.
If they paid him for that, they're stupid.
You know what? The same thing happens in the original Iron Man movie. The first 2/3, they set up this really incredible showdown. And then in the last third, it's very rushed and it turns into a punch you in the face thing. And it's like, I see Shine shaking his head. No.
No, I was looking at something else.
No, that's all right. But no, it does feel rushed. And in Fantastic Four, they set up this world killer that you can't possibly stop. And then they got to stop him.
Yeah.
And they got to do it quick.
I do like one of my big criticisms is Ralph Innocent is critically underutilized. Bro has like 4 lines. So but like I really liked how they didn't kill Galactus. That was going to be like, I will give this movie a no higher than a 5 out of 10 if they kill Galactus. Because like every other Marvel movie is like, yeah, this godlike threat from the comics who has like a badass legacy and a high fan expectation. Yeah, no, kill him off in the most ridiculous way possible. And so I was like, if they do that here, there's no, my bias to the lore will make sure I can't like the movie if they do that here.
Hey,
and
Vaughn,
they didn't.
Vaughn, how do you feel about spoilers about the original Galactus story? Because I know you haven't read it.
Ooh. Go for it. I'll read it. It's my fault. It's in the 60s.
It's called The Coming of Galactus, right?
I think so. And
I'm going to read it. So go ahead. It's my fault for not having read it. So
toward the end of it, well, originally the Watcher shows up and he's just kind of standing around. He won't say anything. And they're like, all right, something's up. Something's going on. And then Galactus shows up and he's completely unstoppable, of course. And so the Watcher drops a hint that they have to go into another dimension and find a device called the Nullifier. And then they find this device and Reed threatens Galactus with it. And obviously we're not going to get into the Watcher. We're not going to get into all this side crap. So it's got to be a different ending. And the FF has got to do something about Galactus, who's literally parading through Manhattan trying to kidnap their kid. So yeah, we couldn't go with that ending. And they had to write something completely fresh. And it happened so quick.
It like on paper, it works perfectly. This is a giant god tsunami hurtling towards Earth. I like the Patrick Star meme of like, why don't we take this thing and go push it over there?
Oh my god, yeah.
I like
that was good setup. I that's what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna move to the MCU, and that's where I thought they were going with it. And that wasn't where they went. But yeah, I mean, I like that idea.
Like my whole takeaway about this movie in general, if I could summarize it in a sentence, take this as the backhanded compliment it is. It's the best Marvel this year.
And there's only one, as I remember. So
the Thunderbolts came out.
There's Captain America, Brave New World, the Thunderbolts, Ironheart, and this. And this is by far the best, and it's not close. But like if we hold it up to the rest, it still lands in like pretty low tier. Like I would give it a C tops.
That should tell you where I am with the MCU. I haven't seen the other 3, except
you shouldn't. They're not good.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking.
Like Thunderbolts had like a wholesome message, and a lot of people on the internet gaslight themselves into thinking the film is good because of that, and it's really, really frustrating. I have this really nice guy in my Discord who's just emphatic that Thunderbolts is a phenomenal movie because it spoke to him personally, and I'm like, dog, I love you. The movie is shit. I'm glad you took something out of it like that. Movie's awful.
I don't need the Red Guardian turned into Volstagg from Asgard. No, thank you.
Red Guardian, I don't know much about him as a character. Have I read anything with him? Let's see.
Red Guardian is the Russian Captain America, and they turn him into the fat guy from Thor. It's just like no.
Yeah, I think I've read some. Does he appear in the Avengers vs. X-Men?
Avengers, yeah, early Avengers.
I'm talking the original. There was an original, or it was X-Men versus Avengers, which is totally different from Avengers as X-Men. That was like in the 80s. I think he shows up in that. I know a bunch of Russian heroes show up. He might have been. Also, Bionic Bruh. Anyone notice Syndrome coming into their home to get Jack just like the Incredible? Yeah. Yeah. He does do that. Doctor Doom is dark. If they make Doctor Doom Syndrome, I'm gonna be pissed off. That's the thing. I think they nailed the Fantastic Four and everything. A part of me feels like this RDJ casting is a red herring.
My brother's the same way. He thinks that Doom hates no one more than he hates other Dooms. So he thinks that like this Robert Downey Doom is like 100% like just a big red herring to like pave the way for the real one.
But I'm sick of that. But I'm sick. I agree. I want it to be something like that as opposed to him being Victor Von Doom, right?
Didn't we kind of do that with the Mandarin?
Yeah,
kind of.
By the time, like, we redeemed him. You redeemed him after you killed off his arch nemesis. Like, why so we have Iron Man's arch nemesis fighting Shang-Chi, and it's like I think they're gonna be like real Victor Von Doom. And it's
there's a meme out there that says, "Beware the Iron Man villains in the MCU. Not a single one of them has actually fought Iron Man."
That or
because you got Ghost who went against Ant-Man, you got the Mandarin who went against Shang-Chi, you got MODOK who went against Ant-Man. Like the lineup is long, and it's a ton of Iron Man villains that just never met Iron Man once. I think the only one was Ironmonger and Whiplash, yeah, and then what's Trask? Is that his name?
Trask.
No, my bad. What's the name of the guy who has his own company in Iron Man 2 and 3?
Oh, Justin Hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There are so many corpos in the Marvel universe.
There are.
Villain. It's like Cyberpunk all over again, where it's just insert name here, and that's a company. And that's its own villain faction, so it gets very confusing for me. Trask is X-Men. He's the Sentinel guy.
Let's just say in the Marvel universe, the NASDAQ is a very bad place to be.
Yeah.
So wait, real quick. So okay, back to the movie. So in the third act, do we all agree that it was kind of rushed, or what do you think? Like, dude,
insanely,
because it was
insanely.
Rushed, but do we think it was because I think the build up to Galactus as a threat was really good. But I do kind of agree that it's literally she just goes.
I think they shot this movie. They shot this movie in both feet with that casting chair live stream, because I never once felt emotionally compelled by the tense moments or the like risks being taken, because like that chair casting live stream hard confirmed that nobody in this movie dies.
The only tension I felt was Galactus's world.
Ooh, when they were there?
When they were there to confront him?
Well, yeah. I didn't think any of them were going to die. That's why when Invisible Woman, I get that they were just showing, they wanted to show how powerful Franklin Richards is. They'd bring to life. But my whole thing is I just think they kind of got rid of Galactus too easily.
I think it's stupid that this is the fourth last movie in the first gen MCU, because they confirmed like we're getting a hard reboot post Secret Wars. Like they're gonna recast all the OGs, they're gonna like remake a bunch of movies, but like once you get to Secret Wars, like this era of the MCU phase 1 through 6 is over. Like it's dead. They're killing it.
So we're getting rid of them. We just got them. We're getting rid of them.
Anyways, but my whole thing is like, damn. This is fourth to last MCU movie, and you won't actually kill anyone. What a wussy ass movie. Like I think it would be. I think me personally, if I was like making like a big narrative call, my thing would have been hearken to. I think it was the 2012 Fantastic Four run, the one where Johnny dies to Annihilus. Hearken to that.
That
thematically.
was Hickman's run, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
I haven't read it, but I've heard that.
It's the like leads into Future Foundation, where Spider-Man becomes part of the Fantastic Four for a time.
Okay.
Hearken to that tonally and thematically. Have Johnny tackle Galactus through the portal, and then have that be the emotional driving factor that pushes Reed, Sue, and Ben into fighting for the multiverse. Have that be the emotional driving factor that makes Shia LaBeouf want to be a good guy.
All right, what are your thoughts on on Silver Surfer? Sean and I talked about it. I think we both kind of had the same opinion. But what are
Her
you
name's
guys?
Julia Garner,
Wait,
right?
Vaughn.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Oh, my bad. Like I have to go real quick.
Oh
I'll
yeah, no
try
worries.
to join like a little bit later.
Oh no
Yeah,
worries. We're gonna be going. No
Yeah, for
worries,
sure.
man.
Great to meet
we'll
all
talk,
you guys. For
We'll
real.
talk more in the future. See you.
Great to meet you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Her name
So-
was the actress' name is Julia Garner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She
think so.
she's phenomenal. She has never disappointed me with a single performance. I'm very excited about that upcoming movie, Weapons. That looks like it's going to be awesome. But again, much like Ralph Ineson, criminally underutilized, and also like on paper, it's like needless non-traversy starting out of nowhere. Like, why is she here? Why is it Shella Ball? Why is it not Norin Rath?
That's
Well,
what it
well,
felt
it-
like. Sean and I were
know?
talking. It felt to me like they just wanted to, and I hate to do it because I'm sick of these whole discussions, DI and everything. But that's honestly the only explanation I can think of.
Now, Mr. Pirate King, I don't know what you go by. If you go by Boros or Pirate King or
Whatever works with you. I
I just want to
mind.
call you something. I'm trying
Boros
to be
is
respectful.
fine. Boros is fine.
okay.
You're good.
It sounds like you know your movies, and it also strikes me that the producers, the people at Marvel, may very well have said, or in order to get the green light and the funding to do this film, they may have been told, you get Julia Gardner, you get somebody with a name, and her name came up at the casting office. They said Julia Gardner's looking for work. We're pushing her. Put her in the movie. Make the Silver Surfer a chick. It could have been that simple.
I know. I'm aware that that's how slapdash they are with it sometimes. I just think that, like, I'm just like, it felt like a decision they didn't put much thought into because they seemed almost shocked that they got pushback for it, you know? So
Yeah.
that's my only thing for it. Like,
It felt like they
you have
wanted to have a girl for diversity reasons.
my whole thing with it is like, I was gonna give it a chance. I was going to give it a chance regardless because I had friends who wanted to see the movie with me. So I was like, I'm not going to like expect it to be bad. I'm going to give it a good faith first watch, you know? And it turned out okay. She did great. That actress never disappoints. I just, for me personally, I have no pity for Disney when they get pushed back for stuff like this because they built their own track record. Like they don't get to bitch and moan when people don't give them like a good faith chance anymore after the shit they've pulled in the past. So
I agree.
I'm like,
there
look,
were some very nice little touches. Like when I first saw Herbie, I went, "Oh dear! Look at that face with the magnetic tape rolls." And then somebody opens up Herbie's head and switches out his tape, and I went,
for space, yeah,
for
the
space, yeah.
mode.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's why his face looks like a magnetic tape roll. It is one." Which is why I knew this couldn't possibly be the 60s. It's sort of the 60s we wish we had.
Well, it's the I think what it's meant to be. They call it the 60s, but my whole thing is like it feels more like the future the 60s predicted. You know?
Yeah.
Like it feels more like that.
That's
Because you have like the monorails that are hanging and going everywhere. You have like analog everywhere in like a very casually networked fashion. You have like it's the 60s prediction of the future, you know?
You know what's scary? You know what's scary? I am so bloody old that I was there in the early 70s and it looked like that. And that's where we thought things were going. That's what I thought was going to happen when I got older. It was Fantastic Four.
Going on, Sergeant. All right, yeah, I'll check. Sorry, I've been super busy, man. I got a campaign, so if I didn't check, it's nothing personal. Everyone knows I can be. So I apologize. Sometimes I can be hard to. I'm either always really on or really off, and sometimes both at the same time with DMs. So
I've had trouble giving a number to this movie because I can't decide if I like it just because everything else has been titanically bad, or if it's good because it's actually good. You know,
I think it's
like
good. I do.
When
think
the
it's
bar
good.
is in hell, is it like good when it's not down there with the rest? You know.
I'm about ready to give the production department an Academy Award, but as far as the plotting and the characterization, it's a popcorn movie.
Yeah.
a lot of screaming and yelling and some nice character touches and a lot of things exploding and yeah, but visually it's stunning. It's absolutely brilliant.
I really like the costume design. It bothered me. Why is Reed Richards the only one without the white collar? Like that always bothered me. I don't know.
I didn't notice, honestly. I just don't dig the new
I don't think anyone
suits.
cared. I see. I liked it. I don't understand why Ben Grimm had the sweater on when he was fighting, but I didn't mind it too much.
Because turtleneck sweaters were a thing.
I just think the MCU is trying to distinguish itself. They don't want
Yeah.
to look like everything else. You want a comic accurate design. You got the 04, 05 movies. You got the Marvel Rivals character designs. Like not I know those the original ones they made for their like base looks aren't comic accurate, but they have a bunch of comic accurate.
I haven't played Marvel Rivals since that stream, and I know I want to.
Yeah,
I'm
actually,
kicking ass as Emma Frost right now.
Dude, we need to.
Vaughn,
we need to play again. Wyatt, remind me. We got to play again, man.
I will.
Vaughn, when they originally started FF, the FF had no costumes. That was part of Stan Lee's conceit, is that these characters are going to go do their thing in street clothes. And they were getting letters going, where's their costumes? And so they created costumes. Sue sewed costumes for them. And the thing had a full body suit and a helmet.
Helmet?
Yes, and a helmet. And that lasted for all of one issue before Ben yanked it off and tore it apart.
See, I gotta read this. The original run, man. I really do. I think I might.
Oh my god! It covers his whole face. What the hell?
Yes.
No wonder he tore it off and tore it to pieces. That looks uncomfortable as shit.
Yeah, it was the whole scene was like, "What am I doing in this monkey suit, Sue?"
Yeah, that sounds very.
Oh, speaking of which, because that impression is great. Can we talk? I think that the new Ben Grimm was missing that. He doesn't sound like the Thing. That was my biggest.
That was yeah. If I had to critique that, I would say
bothered me. Like
Eben,
they didn't even try.
Eben Moss-Barack was a good casting. He did a very good acting. Like he was very good at like delivering his lines. But he should have done something with the voice because it was just a dude talking in terms of like.
Yeah, so that's the
vocals.
directing fault. Like I'm sorry, the Thing more than a lot of characters in comics has a very distinct way of talking.
Hey, Vaughn, I apologize. Doing impersonations is like a bad habit with me.
No, I liked it.
The Thing was originally voiced in cartoons by Ted Cassidy, who was Lurch in the Addams Family.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then later, when they did the cartoons, he was voiced by Chuck McCann, who was a kids host in New York and brought that same New York style to it. And so I get it. That's why when we read the Fantastic Four, when you read the dialogue, it sounds like he's from New York. And then when you see the cartoons, that's how he talks.
That's why this is the only version of the Thing. And I feel like it's worth calling out. I'm sorry. This is like, I don't understand. Every other version of the Thing I've ever experienced did that. I pick up my Secret Wars and I read that, like my original Secret Wars. Every line of dialogue, like they accentuate it. It's like removing, it's like Rogue's Southern accent to me. It's like, it would be weird. It's weird when Rogue doesn't have a Southern accent. It's weird when, and it's like, we're like, oh, this is the most comic accurate. I think Michael Chiklis, that was such good casting.
Yeah, well, Chiklis is like a New York dude.
Yeah.
You know, if you knew McCann when he was alive, and you'd see him at a show, he would take your cell phone and he would re-record your message for you as the Thing. And he'd be like, "Hey, you've reached Vaughn's phone. This is Benjamin J. Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing, the idol of millions. Leave your name and your tone at the message. I'll get back to you."
For me, my dream casting for this movie that I wish they would have done was what's his name? Hank from Breaking Bad.
But maybe, but he doesn't. Again, it needs that voice.
He's got a very he can like
just get some
voice.
guy off in New York.
It would be like reminiscent of the guy McCann. It would be reminiscent of that if they did.
You're talking
it to him,
about Dean Norris.
Like. Dean Norris, yeah. I feel like Dean Norris could have done.
I like Dean Norris. You know he's in Terminator 2 for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dean Norris, what a guy. I love that guy.
You know what I noticed? The baby monitor in when they were watching Franklin on the baby monitor in the film. Back in subway stations and bus stations back in the day, they used to have these chairs that had televisions attached to them. and you put a quarter in, you could watch television for 10 minutes and then it would shut off. And the baby monitor looked exactly like one of those. Whoever was in the designing the props in that movie was just a genius.
Yeah, I think the set design and everything was fantastic. Really.
They were say that again. I'm kidding. They were clearly trying a little harder in this movie, which is why I'm saying, like, for the backhanded compliment, it feels like this is the best Marvel that's come out this year. You know?
Yeah. No, 100%. I think I enjoyed it. I had a good time at the theater, which is something, you know, if it doesn't make me like viscerally angry, that's good. You know, the bars, but in general, I did actually think it was a good movie. I did think it was good. The ending is it a little rushed? Yeah, absolutely. But it was built up to, and I enjoyed it regardless. I think it was a very solid watch. It didn't character assassinate, which feels like a strange thing to praise, but
I don't give them praise for that. That's the bare minimum expectation I have for these things.
I think it did the characters pretty well. I liked it. I had a fun time, and it made me want to read the comics.
That's like giving James Gunn props for making Superman nice. Like that. Like that's not something you praise because that's an expectation.
Fair.
That's the bare minimum.
Well, the thing is that I guess that's where we're at. Expectation. Right?
You know what I'm waiting for with a Superman movie? I want to see a little more Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy was good in the new one, but I want to see
in the new one he was really good. Yeah,
I want to see Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. People are already saying apparently that's actually going to come about, and people are theorizing. Dude, if Darkseid shows up in that like he did in the comics, that'd be great.
Have you guys ever read the Jimmy Olsen comics?
No, but I've heard that there were some good ones. I heard that there was actually a solid series.
Oh no, well, the Jack Kirby period was really cool.
Oh, he did that. Kirby did it. See, I feel like a piece of shit for never having read any Kirby stuff because he was everywhere.
He was everywhere. But before that, Jimmy Olsen's superpower was the dumb luck of not getting killed, because he was constantly doing incredibly stupid things and somehow surviving in every issue. That made him really, really cool. He'd go into some mad scientist refrigerator and find some grape juice, and it would turn into a formula that turned him into a lizard man or something, or a werewolf.
Yeah, man, I got to check that stuff out. I've been meaning to.
Just, what I would do is I would go to just Google Jack Kirby and look at drawings, look at production drawings, and see what Kirby was designing, and you'll go, oh my God, this guy was wild. Because I think before I said something that might have seemed a little off topic, that Kirby just kind of sketched stuff, looked at it and said, what is this? Or that he'd get thrown out of Marvel if he showed up. Well, that's true. But the stuff that he did, despite the fact that it's bizarre and weird and all the proportions are out of whack, it all works. When you look at it and you go, this shouldn't work, but it does. It's incredible.
I think another thing too with Kirby is because I think he always said he was a cartoonist, not an artist. There's a lot of artists that they want every panel to be like the super detailed, whatever. And sometimes people are just like, no, I just want to tell a story.
Jack would draw a page and he would design it so that the last panel of the page made you want to turn it to see what happened on the next page. That's how good he was.
I try and write that way as best I can. Writing for page turns, because you realize there's a rhythm to writing comics. And I mean, I think Junji Ito was great.
Oh, Junji Ito is
the page turns. It's almost like a thing where it's like someone has a singular bead of sweat and they go, okay, what's on the next? And it's this unholy abomination.
The Junji Ito, in case you haven't read it, you're cool if I call you Kevin?
Yeah,
Kevin. If you've never read Junji Ito, he's a manga writer.
Okay.
And manga reads right to left instead of left to right.
Yeah.
He does this thing where he spends like 3 pages setting something up, and you read it like a normal comic, multiple pictures, and then eventually when it builds up to like the jump scare, you could call it, you turn the page and it's this full page image of something just grotesquely off-putting.
Oh yeah.
And it throws you for such a loop. Like some of the it doesn't like make you jump or nothing, but like it's very creeping, inescapable horror that is out to get the character the story is following, and so it definitely like plants itself deep in your mind and haunts you for a while. There's a story called Uzumaki that's not particularly like, scary, but like it's very haunting and harrowing.
Yeah, that's
I'd
good.
love to read some good manga. I've seen some older manga, but there's nothing that I've seen that makes me go, oh, I need to read this right now.
Well, if you want a good Junji Ito story, my recommendations are Ramina, Tomie, Uzumaki, or Gyo.
So I haven't
Those
read.
are the only ones I own
read,
on hardcover.
I haven't read Tomie or Gyo, but I have read Ramina. I've read Uzumaki. I need to read. I've read a lot of his short stories.
He's got good shorts. I think my favorite one is the Calamity of Amigara Fault.
Yeah, no, the
That's
Enigma
the best
of
one.
Amigara Fault.
The Enigma of Amigara Fault. It's
a lot of
very
the short
haunting
stories
story.
that I've read, I don't think are super. Like, I do want to read Ramina because my favorite is still Uzumaki, which is the longest. I do want to read. I liked Ramina. I do want to. Venus in the Blind Spot is interesting. I do need to read Tomei and Gyo, though. Those are definitely ones I know I need to read. But anyway, in typical Vaughn Coleman stream fashions, we went off topic for most of it, but that's okay because we had fun. Coleman and crew, I just kind of like, I'm like, here's a topic, we'll talk about it, and then if we go nuts, we go nuts.
Well, I think that Fantastic Four, the movie, if you're going to properly talk about it and put it in perspective within the overarching pantheon of comicdom, you're gonna slide off the cracker into some weird alleys. So sure.
No,
as far as manga goes, I'm ignorant, but I like Lupin. Lupin's cool.
Lupin slaps. It's amazing.
Lupin? I've seen
Lupin
the one
third,
movie.
right? The thief, right? That's who you're
the gentleman.
to?
Yeah, the gentleman thief.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you like his darker stories, or do you like the more comedy oriented ones?
I think Lupin. What was the one they did that was like a 3D, almost like The Incredibles?
Lupin the Third, the First.
Yeah, Lupin
That's
the Third.
One I got on the Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yep, that's an awesome movie. And I think it got remade in America as like The Bad Guys or something, but it's basically James Bond. It's like a James Bond superhero thing. And who's the inspector? Taragawa.
The cop is one of the best side
characters. The cop is hysterical, just chasing him all over the place like a madman.
Hey guys, sorry, I hate to do this, but I have a draw stream I got to get to at 10, and I realize I have to do some stuff beforehand. But real quick, everyone give their final number rating, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I think I'll probably give it. I actually think as a movie, it might be a little better than Superman, although I did like Superman more.
Yep.
I think as a movie, this is a little better. Personally, although maybe I need to rethink it, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. What about
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But unfortunately, until we move to Mr. Burroughs, I need to know what draw stream Vaughn is going to be on so I can go watch it. So
I'm going to be on Drawn and Quartered.
Oh, Drawn and Quartered.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be on. Drawn and Quartered. The guy, actually, wow, you probably like this guy who did the Injustice books, hosting this stream.
I used to do that show actually years ago. I used to be on Miller's Drawn and Quartered.
Yeah. So I'm bringing 2 of my artists on, and then tomorrow we're going to be doing a discussion on Claremont's X-Men run, which that's going to be a lot of fun because I just finished that. So yeah, if you want to swing by for that, you're more than welcome to, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So Wyatt, what do you think of the movie?
I want to be generous, but I also want to be real. The movie itself was fine, like honest to God, literally best Marvel this year. But like with the current state of Marvel, I don't know if if I can give it like a high props because yes, the set design was good. Yeah, some of the castings were good. Yeah, some of the characters were cool, but like it's just like but very much a skin of its teeth movie in terms of like how it goes. So I'm like, I feel like the highest I could give it for now is a 7.
All right, we got a 7.5, 7 close to an 8.
Yeah, I think 7.5, 8. I'm struggling to give it an 8, but I don't want to give it to. I'm going to give it a 7.5 for now, I think.
Hey, Ron, I need to wet your whistle for the X-Men tomorrow night. Do you know that most of the X-Men were created for the new X-Men were created by Dave Cockrum for Legion of Superheroes.
Yes. Well, I didn't know
Okay.
most of them did. I knew Nightcrawler was, and I know
Nightcrawler,
Storm was an
Storm.
amalgamation of multiple, right? Storm was
Okay,
like
just so you know
Typhoon. I've
yeah.
seen that. I think I have them somewhere. Typhoon. It was like the Storm was like 3 different characters, right?
Yeah.
Was one of them. Yeah, I did know that. Anyway, I would love to stay and chat, but I lost track of time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do hard out. So I'm just gonna play the trailer. If you guys have anything you want to promote, actually, I'm sorry. What do you guys
nice to meet you. I was just gonna say, nice to meet you, Boris. Thanks for having me on the show, Vaughn.
Of course,
Good to meet
my
you.
pleasure, man. It's good because I actually didn't know anything about Fantastic Four, so it was good. Wyatt, anything you want to shout out?
I'm a streamer and a YouTuber, Pirate King Boros. I do a lot of stuff for fun on the internet, and I'm writing a couple books, and they'll get published eventually. But until then, it's just stuff on the back burner, plugging away. So,
Yeah.
Pirate King Boros, streamer, YouTuber, come check me out.
All right.
I'm just an amateur who reads comics. Mouth Almighty is what my mom used to call me when I was little, and I screamed. So, I'm the Mouth Almighty. But all right, man. Have fun with your stream, Vaughn.
All
Will
right.
do. All
Good
right.
night,
Thank
Vaughn.
you so much for coming on. See you guys.
See y'all.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. And let me play this, and we're out.
We call ourselves Phenomenova. Yesterday, the Stormbearers, a deadly group of mercenaries, took control of a nuclear reactor. Before we arrived on the scene, Galvanite, a superpowered teenage boy, attempted to stop them. He failed. His story ended there that day. Ours began shortly after. Today, I sift through the memories of that day. I will put the pieces together, and we will bring those responsible to justice.